Boating is a national pastime. As we continue to enjoy our waterways, we need to be aware of potential sources of boat pollution and take simple steps to make sure we don't contribute to the problem.
What we try to emphasize to people is there are impacts to the way you operate your boat. And so we want to make sure that everybody understands that prevention is the first thing that they should be thinking about whenever they're operating their boat. And we don't want them to pollute the waters that everybody tries to enjoy.
If we all do our share, we can help make the coast a clean and fun place to go boating.
Probably if we all kind of look towards alternatives, there are a lot of alternatives out there. Don't be afraid to try some of these because they're out there to use, and I think we can all benefit from it. Certainly the environment can.
If there was one thing that I wished we could all keep in mind, it would be a general environmental consciousness that we're only hurting ourselves in the long run by not being environmentally conscious each and every time we go out on the water. The big picture is what's so important, and you know, we're the authors of our own future, so what we do now will affect us and future generations after us.
It's actually really sad because they're animals and it's not like they can do anything about the pollution themselves, so we actually have to do the stuff for them and clean up the water and stuff so that they could live inside the ocean and we can play in it.
And we just forget that this is a natural resource. It's not just our boating playground. There are more reasons for this water to exist than just for our pleasure, and that's to support a whole ecosystem underneath our hulls.
Have you ever wondered where water goes after it rains? How about the water that runs into the drain at home? Where does it go? What happens to it? Well, the water goes to different places. All of the water from our houses goes through our drain pipes into the sewer system, connecting to a pipeline that goes to a treatment facility. We use a lot of water in our homes. In 2006, the water demand for Orange County was 644,000 acre-feet. 1 acre-foot is equal to 326,000 gallons of water. That's 209,944,000,000 gallons of water. Another way to think of it is that 1 football field equals 1 acre. Now fill that football field with 1 foot of water. Then multiply it by 644,000 football fields. Now that's a lot of water. Remember that the water going to the treatment plant is not just from our homes. How about the water we use at school or the mall? Maybe you can think of other places you visit that use water. Any water that we use that goes into a drain pipe goes through the sanitary sewer system and is treated and then released. Some homes are not connected to the sewer system and store their wastewater in a septic tank. Likewise, restaurants collect their cooking grease in either a grease trap or an interceptor and then have it picked up by a waste hauler who then transports it to the sanitation district. When the wastewater leaves our homes and businesses, it goes through what are called trunk lines that lead to the sanitation district where the water is then cleaned. In Orange County, there are approximately 531 miles of trunk lines to carry our wastewater. When the water reaches the sanitation district, it is pre-cleaned to protect the biological cleaning process that prepares the water to be released. Preliminary treatment is done to remove the larger debris from the wastewater. Heavier items like eggshells, coffee grounds, and sand settle and then are removed from the water. Primary treatment removes material that is lighter than water. The final stage of treatment is secondary treatment. This is through a trickling filter with aerobic bacteria that eat the remaining solids out of the water. Each trickling filter treats 15 million gallons of water each day. After the water is treated, it is released into the ocean through a pipe that carries the water more than 5 miles away from land. The good news is that we are treating millions of gallons of water each day. The bad news is that there is still a lot of water that isn't treated and ends up on our beaches and in our ocean. The water that doesn't go down the drain at home flows into the street and goes through the storm drain system. There are two types of water that flow through the storm drain system. Stormwater flows in the streets from rainfall or melted snow. It flows through the underground pipe system that was originally developed to prevent flooding in our cities. Urban runoff also flows through the street and storm drain system and through the flood control channel straight into the ocean, untreated. Unlike stormwater, urban runoff is the direct result of human activities and carelessness. Urban runoff and stormwater both wash away the pollutants from our cars, lawns, and city streets that build up in between rainstorms onto our beaches and into the ocean. The result is contaminated water, warning signs, and beach closures. Did you see all the plastic and other trash that ended up on the beach?
One of the problems with stormwater runoff and other non-point source pollutants is that they're not some big factory out there doing the pollution. It's all of us by our own personal behavior that causes these things. So if we walk our dogs, or if we put too much pesticide on our lawn and then irrigate it so it flows down into the street, those are the kinds of behaviors that then make that stuff flow directly into the ocean. Same goes for boating. If you dump your waste over the side, or you you pump your tank right near the harbor, those are the kinds of activities that when we add them up over the course of millions of people, over the course of tens of years, we end up creating an impact. If we change our own individual behaviors in ways that aren't really that large of a change, a lot of these problems actually go away. And we've seen that with some things like dumping oil down the street, where a little bit of a change in behavior has really reduced the amount of oil that comes down into the coast.
We can help by putting trash into the trash can. More importantly, reduce the waste you produce by buying fewer items that will produce trash. Also, sweep up leaves instead of hosing them into the street. Wash cars and pets on the lawn. I bet you didn't think that the sanitation district would ask you for help. We learned that big items like paper towels and food scrap should not be discarded down the drain. Medication, chemicals, hazardous materials, and trash will upset the biological process used to clean the wastewater and therefore should be put in the trash for proper disposal.
We should be optimistic about what we can do to improve the quality of our local waterways. If we apply the concern we have for marine life, the love we have for boating, and commit ourselves to cleaning up these valuable resources, we can make a real difference in preserving our playground, their world.